Elon Musk has vented about his $100 million OpenAI donation gone wrong. Wow, you got to wonder how he feels about it because he was there early days, and obviously things have absolutely popped off at this time. Shout out Jonah. Elon Musk, co-founder of the artificial intelligence firm OpenAI, once again publicly griped about the startup's direction on Wednesday, weeks after news broke that the billionaire would seek to create a less woke rival service. I'm still confused as to how a nonprofit to which I donated $100 million somehow became a $30 billion market cap for-profit. If this is legal, why doesn't everyone do it, he tweeted. Musk departed OpenAI in 2018. At the time, the company said he left to avoid potential conflicts of interest with his own other ventures, including Tesla, which obviously they work on AI-related things as well. So a nonprofit is how it was. It's some sort of hybrid type of situation. And the $100 million that he put in, he's calling a donation. And now you have this Microsoft deal on the table, and he's saying, hey, why is that an investment now that we've got a $30 billion market cap for profit?
But he's also the co-founder of OpenAI. So he must have some sort of say.
No, not anymore. He left.
None at all.
None. Zero.
Okay.
He completely left. Now, my understanding of this, and it's incredibly limited, and I hope you guys go with me on this, because I'll just say this in general. There's so many topics that we cover on such a regular basis here that I don't know if it needs to be said as far as disclaimers are concerned, but like sometimes it's going to be more in-depth depending the degree to which I've investigated it, read about it, how many times we've covered it. And then there's going to be other times where there's a breaking story and there might be an article that's written in a somewhat confusing manner. And then we might sound like we have no idea what we're talking about, which actually happened on a clip recently, which was the Last of Us clip, where we were just all over the map with it. And it was like, the headline was like, Last of Us 3 is coming. And then it was not even about that. And a lot of people were in there saying, what the hell are you guys talking about? Right. As far as this PvP thing and everything else. But anyway, this, my understanding, my vague understanding here is that there was a split up, or a split off, or two different groups. So you had the not-profit and then you had the for-profit arm. To give them extra versatility, you could take $100 million onto the research side and then at the same time be working on a for-profit product at a later date. And I have to assume that this could be a problem with not-for-profit profit across the board when it comes to scientific research, the medical field. Like, I just start imagining the ways in which you can siphon and move and take research findings and development that happens on the not-profit side and then filter that into your for-profit business. A lot of the AI stuff is kind of working this direction with these big data sets and the likes of your generators, your image generators, and all this stuff. This is not an unusual model. And so Musk is obviously here being critical of this particular model and at least his involvement in it. And probably, maybe most importantly, the fact that he doesn't necessarily like the direction it's going, considering it was sort of built on the back of, at least to an extent, his $100 million. Shout out Maggie.
And he has every right to complain. You know, he sunk in a couple dollars in it, and he was a co-founder. And also, like, it kind of hurts his bottom line, too. He's all about open access. And anyone can kind of like access these this technology. So I think for him, he should be more outspoken about it.
Well, I mean, there's a few ways you can look at it. Like, he basically has said that he's going to launch a competitor. So in that case, you're like, all right, well, he's probably going to be critical of it. It's obvious as well that some of these responses are not on his side politically, or his political stance on things like speech and so forth, which he's been outspoken about. I'm gonna go take a nap. But the thing is, with him, you have to be skeptical every time, because you're like, well, he is in a position where he can actually do unusual things. Like, hey, don't like Twitter? Buy Twitter. Like, how many people were in a position to do that? Other than him? I don't like Twitter. I think I'll buy it. As an individual, I mean, he brought in a few other people, and it's kind of that way here. It's like they don't have to listen to his input. They don't have to make it less, let's say, woke. But then you're talking to somebody who's in a position who actually could, if they care enough, bring something else to market that's directly competitive. It is possible. I don't know how far ahead OpenAI is at this point.
Yeah.